Mr. Williams.
He's working on it.
Yeah, it looks that way. Can you hear us?
Hi, Stephanie.
I was wondering if you got it taken care of.
Well, I'm kind of new to this. I did one the other day, but I had to click off the mute thing. The mute.
Yeah, that was my question, was how many of these things have you had to do so far?
I did one yesterday, and it was real easy. This has been easy so far. This is the new me.
It is.
I had both my cataracts removed and replaced with lenses that make me see 20/20, including correcting astigmatism. These glasses I have are just simply, I bought some progressive progressive reading glasses online for $10, and they work really fine. So I can see, like, because I need something for close up.
Oh, wow. Look at Mr. Pickle. He's like in space.
I can see golf balls far away, but I can't read a book. We had a person in our office test positive for COVID today, so I'll be working from home starting.
So get used to Zoom.
Yeah. I'm at the office right now. We just got word of that just about an hour ago.
It's so much better than conference call.
Yes, this is much better. When it says chat down here at the bottom sometimes, what is that all about?
It's where you can just type to chat. If someone's speaking and you have a question, you can type it in there. But
so it's a typing thing, not a interactive voice thing.
Yeah, it's just a chat by print, by typing.
Gotcha.
Stephanie, we're good to go on the recording, so whenever you're ready.
Okay, thank you. I'll give it one more minute, see if Mr. Caldwell comes.
This may be the only way we can get Lou. He travels so much.
I mean, for people that are busy and want to serve the community, I mean, it's the way to do it. All right, I'm going to call the meeting to order. Has everyone had a chance to read over the minutes?
Yes.
Are there any adjustments?
No comments on the minutes.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Tipton.
I'll make a second.
Second by Mr. Mayor Neal. Oh, wait, we should probably call the roll first.
I'll do that if you like. I guess I can scroll over, but I see several of you at the top.
Okay.
Chair Wright.
Here.
Vice Chair Burkett. Secretary Pickle,
Here.
Mayor Neal,
Present.
Mr. Botkin, Mr. Clifton,
Here.
Mr. Lay,
Here.
Mr. Lovin,
Here.
Mr. Qualls,
Here.
and Mr. Tipton.
Here.
Chair, we have a quorum. We can proceed.
Okay, so we have a motion for approval of the minutes by Mr. Tipton, second by Mayor Neal. Call the roll, please.
Chair Wright,
Yes.
Secretary Pickle,
Yes.
Mayor Neal,
Yes.
Mr. Clifton,
Yeah.
Mr. Lay,
Yes.
Mr. Lovin,
Yes.
Mr. Qualls,
Yes.
Mr. Tipton.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Unanimous?
Thank you, sir. I have nothing to report. Mayor, do you have anything?
I can't think of anything. I'll defer to the city manager, see if there's anything I'm missing out on.
Mr. City Manager?
I don't believe I have anything at this time.
Okay.
Chair, I have one thing.
Okay.
If you don't mind, it's I got a call today from a VO Rotar. I probably say his name not very well, but he's a realtor, and he was calling about wanting. He had a client. He's a realtor. He has a client that and they were asking about whether a woodworking business would be a permitted use in the C1 district, and the property in question would be 216 Franklin Street, and it is off the main drag, North Kentucky Street, but it is zoned as C1. And I went through, I verified his zoning district, and I went through the zoning ordinance, and to me, it is not an allowed use. And I told him so. It's the C1 district is a general commercial district. The C2 district specifically allows light manufacturing and certain things like that. Now, I told him also that I was not the final answer, that was my opinion and my interpretation of the zoning ordinance. And I did tell him that if he felt like he disagreed with that or it was worth pursuing, he could challenge my decision and go to the Board of Zoning Appeals. And he also asked if it was possible it could be rezoned to C2. And I said, that's the highway commercial district. And since it's not on the highway, it's more on a side street, Franklin, that I said, I doubt that would be likely, but I said, you're free to do so. So anyway, I just want to update you on that. He may request the BZA to take a look at this, or he may approach the city about a rezoning. So anyway. Okay.
For anybody looking, if you haven't seen already, that's up behind Roane County News.
Don't we already have isn't there a body shop and a record service?
There's a body shop and yes. Mm-hmm.
But you can't have a woodworking shop?
In my opinion, the way the zoning ordinance is written, that would not be a permitted use. At least it's not expressly allowed. In order for it to be determined to be so, I think it would need to be a Board of Zoning Appeals action.
And you think that's on the basis of just manufacturing?
Yes, yeah, as opposed to being like a retail establishment. And I know that, certain uses, even though they may differ in exactly what's being done, may have the same minimal or minor impact on neighboring properties. But just going by way the zoning ordinance is written, I didn't think it would be at least a go unless the board decided that it would be appropriate.
Okay, can you forward his information to the city manager, please?
Sure.
And would it be different if he called it an artist studio? Is that something that's different? I mean, you could
I said woodworking. He said that. Did I say woodworking? I just say cabinet shop. He's going to do cabinets, and associated woodworking with that.
Right. Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, I don't know what I just said a minute ago, but I was looking at my.
You said woodworking.
Well, it's in the same category. That's what. Anyway, he would do cabinets, and anyway, okay. I'm just telling you what I told him. And he's free to,
David, is he going to be selling cabinets, or just making them?
Just making them, from what I understood. I mean, I thought I didn't go that far with him.
Send me his information. Let me talk to. Let me look at it. I think there's you always get into that retail trade gray area. If he's making them there, selling them online or whatever, I think there's a couple different ways to look at that. But if you want to send it to me, I'm happy to talk to him.
And you're right. Some people have a showroom and do some work in the back, that kind of thing, and it's mostly retail. I understand that. That'll be fine. I'll be glad to send you that, David.
Okay, thank you. And David, I don't know when you took roll, if you noticed, I don't know what you're seeing on your screen, but John Burkett was logged on. He's got his microphone muted, but he is on the meeting. So.
Okay, I'll mark him present then. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other committees have any reports? At this time, we have some time set aside to hear from the public. Is there anyone on the call from the public that would like to speak? Someone needs to mute. So we'll go on to the agenda item, final plat review, the 2 lots at 615 North Kentucky Street by Matt Caldwell. There has been some developments on this since we last met. Mr. Bowling, do you want to kind of give an update on where we're at?
Well, first of all, Mr. Caldwell, did you get the email I sent you earlier today? The revised copy of that?
You're muted.
Sorry about that. Am I there now?
Yes.
Yes, I did get the email and I reviewed it and sent it on to the lender. And I think everything's good on that. And I guess where we were at, if we get to a final plat subject to reaching this agreement, then we would, subject to the attorney, and, there might be a couple words, but in general, David, I think it was fine, this latest revision. But I just, it's sort of a chicken and egg thing. I'm trying to, it can be subject to that agreement being signed.
Well, and for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, there's an issue that came up with there's a sewer line and a sanitary sewer that runs underneath that property. When the building in the 80s, when the building that's there now was built, it ultimately was built on top of this infrastructure. There was some discussion in the 80s about making sure that ensuring that the property owner would assume liability for that. It wasn't exactly done in the right way, but long story short, the council meeting last week, that 1985 motion was rescinded, and council authorized the city attorney and I to begin negotiating with Mr. Caldwell on a new agreement, with basically our intent saying that we're responsible. We understand we're responsible for our lines, and you're responsible for your property, and also providing that if it ever needed to be moved for whatever reason, that we would be granted easements to do that. And of course, we would do that at our cost. We're basically wanting to recognize what's there, and both sides be able to hold each other harmless, with the understanding that it is there. So we sent a revised copy to Mr. Caldwell today. He's looking at that. I've talked to the city attorney a couple times today about this, And his recommendation is certainly that this not be finalized until that's agreed upon. I know that as Mr. Caldwell mentioned, and the chair and I spoke earlier, you may want to consider doing something contingent on this being agreed upon, but we really feel like we need to get this issue finalized as quick as we can as part of the progress of this approval.
And to say we are in agreement with that document that Sandy did, but if he and the lender's attorney get together and want to tweak something in the language, I wouldn't, the plat, if it was contingent upon that agreement being signed and put as part of the easement's conditions and restrictions before the chairman signs the plat that would be recorded, we're good with that.
And I would assume that would just go along with the contingent of ownership that I would assume will be part of this as well. Right. I'll let the chair speak to that. But yeah, I think, not speaking on behalf of the city attorney, but I think based on our conversations, as long as that contingency is clear, then I think we'd be good with that.
It's clear with me.
Okay. So the agreement that you were sent today, you're in agreement that was satisfactory as far as you go, but if the attorney and the lender decide that language should change, of course that's out of your hands. But as far as you're concerned, what you saw today was satisfactory.
But but whatever little wordsmithing that they might want to do with Mr. McPherson, again, before the plat would be signed and recorded, that agreement would be in place and signed. The one I received today with, if there's a nuance in there that needs to be changed by them, I'd prefer not to come to another meeting, but be happy to if that's what it takes. But, would like to get it done subject to that agreement being signed.
So, David, do you think Sandy will find that satisfactory?
I think so, as long as that's included in the motion to approve that it is subject to. I think what he's concerned about, what we don't want to see is this get approved and then the other issue get lost in the shuffle. So, okay. This can certainly be a part of it. It's just with the understanding that, there is no final approval per se until this is done as part of that. So I think
final approval or signature of the plat. Signature of the plat subject to this being signed first is the way I would understand it. In other words, the plat's approved subject to this agreement being signed and being part of the document.
The motion will be to approve the plat subject to ownership and a new agreement constructed with the city of Kingston.
That's fair.
Madam Chair, I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mayor Neal.
I'd like to add to it and second it, the recording of the declaration of easements and covenants also prior to signature.
That's fair too. I think Sandy wants to make this part of the ECR. The easements, covenants, and restrictions.
Okay, so the motion is to approve the plat subject to a new agreement with the city of Kingston, subject to ownership of Mr. Caldwell of the property, and the declaration of restrictions and easement also be recorded. Is that correct?
Yes.
I'm clear on that.
Yep, I'll second that.
Okay, motion by Mayor Neal, second by Mr. Levin. Will you call the roll, please?
Chair Wright.
Yes.
Vice Chair Burkett. I didn't hear anything.
You're muted, Mr. Burkett.
Blink once for yes, two for no.
Secretary Pickle.
Yes.
Mayor Neal.
Yes.
Mr. Clifton.
Yes.
Mr. Lay.
Yes.
Mr. Lovin.
Yes.
Mr. Qualls,
Yes.
Mr. Tipton.
Aye.
Okay.
And Mr. Williams, I forgot to tell you, Mr. Bodkin did join the call at 6:10.
Oh, Mr. Botkin joined. Okay. Did you vote, Mr. Botkin?
You're muted, Mr. Bodkin. Still muted.
Hit that button again, Gary. Now, Tom.
There you go.
Okay, I took that as a yes.
Yes.
Okay. We haven't heard from Mr. Botkin, but I assume it's he's a yes.
Mr. Burkett is Mr. Burkett is unmuted.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Burkett is unmuted.
Or nay.
Mr. Williams, if you'll wait just a second, I will call him on the cell phone.
Must be having technical difficulty.
Phone a friend. I feel like I'm on Hollywood Square.
The Brady Bunch, it always feels
Okay,
like
I've
to
got you
me.
on speakerphone, Mr. Burkett. They're asking you for your vote on the final plat.
It was yes.
Okay. Chair, it was unanimous on a roll call vote
Thank you, sir.
to approve.
All right, if there's no other business, this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Good to
Thank
see
you,
everybody.
guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Everybody have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Merry
Happy
Christmas.
New Year.
Same to y'all.
Hey, while we got you on, hold up real quick. Mayor, let's plug her podcast on our time. You guys hadn't
Oh man, that's gonna go south.